as some of y'all may know, we had a young lady named Carlee Russell who we thought was kidnapped while pulling to the side of the road because a toddler was walking down the interstate. And so the way the story went was, of course, you would do what most people would do if they see a toddler walking down the interstate by themselves. They're going to stop and try to figure out what's going on. And, why is a toddler, walking down the street by themselves? Just, the Good Samaritan thing. Okay? That was fine. And so the story we were told was that she had stopped on the side of the road of I-459 there in Hoover, Alabama, and there was a toddler walking down the side of the interstate. It was dark. Okay, and so while corralling this toddler and making sure nothing happened to the toddler, she called the police, and then she had called her parents. So the police were on their way, and she had called her parents, and while she was talking with her mother, I believe it was, I believe she had just got off work, went to go get something to eat, and then she was on her way home, I believe. But while talking with her mother, supposedly somebody snatched her. Okay, the thing was she heard a scream, and that was it. Okay. So I believe it was 2 or 3 days. Everybody and their brother was searching for her, obviously, because we had a young lady who was kidnapped. So of course, Hoover police were checking, Jefferson County. I believe the FBI was involved. Other municipalities were involved, checking that whole I-459 corridor, in the woods, the whole 9 yards. So about 2 or 3 days later, she ends up walking to the front door of her parents' house, knocking on the door, and boom, there she is. Parents call the police department saying that Miss Russell has appeared at their front door, and she's safe. Police come, they send an ambulance, they take her to UAB for evaluation. The detectives meet her there, ask some questions, obviously initial questions and whatnot, and they leave her alone. She's released and goes back home. They turned down interviewing her again because of, quote unquote, the emotional trauma and all that she's been through. So Hoover police were like, okay, even though they had questions. So days pass after that, and the Hoover Police Department have a briefing with the public, and there are questions. One, the parents refuse to let the police interview her, and there's no toddler. They can't find any evidence that there was a toddler walking down the interstate. She says she escaped twice, that she was put in an 18-wheeler, that it was a white gentleman with orange hair and it was balding at the top. Okay, that's unusual. They took her, but they didn't take her purse, her phone, no valuables. There were just certain food items that were missing. The dinner that she had bought was still in the car. Everything basically was there, with the exception of a few items. Cheez-Its, I think, were taken, and a couple of little items, I believe. Okay. She said she heard a woman but never saw her. So the Hoover police do a briefing. press briefing, and they've got questions, but they're not allowed to talk to her because the parents won't allow it. So rumors start. People are suspicious. The Hoover Police Department is very suspicious. They look at the camera. There are cameras all the way down I-459. They look at the camera, and the camera doesn't show anybody walking down the interstate. It does show her pulling over to the side of the interstate, though. But it really doesn't show much else. So the police are like, something's not adding up. So, come to find out, I would say probably maybe a week later at the most. I don't remember the exact time frame. The world was searching for, parents of victims that are still missing or out helping, the Hoover Police Department searching, because they're like, we don't want another parent to have to go through what we're going through. I mean, everybody and their brother was searching for her. Okay? So she gets back home. She's safe. Everybody's relieved. Like I said, Hoover has a press briefing. They've got questions. Things aren't adding up. They check her laptop, phone, whatever it is, and they look at what she was looking at before she was kidnapped. Now, this is where the stuff gets real suspicious. She was Googling the movie Taken. Why would you do that? And she was Googling information about Amber Alerts. And how old or how young do you have to be issued an Amber Alert? Why would you be looking that up prior to you being kidnapped? Extremely suspicious. So the police were like, something just ain't adding up. And as I was listening to the press briefing, yeah, something ain't adding up. Something ain't right. And people were already starting to say that it wasn't a real thing. That it wasn't real. Things weren't just adding up. Come to find out that this particular scenario that happened, well, no, I'll get to that in a minute. So after that, and about another few days later, after the initial Hoover press briefing, I think 3 or 4 days later, she turns herself in back to the Hoover Police Department. Her lawyer tells us that it was all fake. What made national news, which most kidnappings do, especially of young people and children, was all fake. Now, I had suspicions it was fake after that initial press briefing. Not the initial one, but the
in
one
10 miles, take exit 173 toward East Aboga.
That they had, suspicions and whatnot. And so as I was watching that press briefing, yeah, I was like, okay. Now, the problem is that, one, she faked it. Come to find out, the inspiration behind it was supposedly a Kevin Hart skit, maybe an old SNL skit or something to that effect. White man with orange hair with a bald spot, that's obviously a clown. Not funny. But all of it was fake. Now, I don't know what her motives were to fake a kidnapping. There have been rumors, that she was, supposedly cheating on her boyfriend or whatever, and that was she was seen at a hotel during the time that they were searching for her. Obviously, I can't prove any of that, but nevertheless, she faked it, and her lawyer admitted to such. She turned herself in. They showed her mugshot with her smiling, and she's only being charged with 2 misdemeanors. 2 misdemeanors. Kidnapping is a federal offense. That's a federal charge. But faking one is just a misdemeanor. And then because she faked it, they're charging her with, because of it, all the resources that were, used to try to help her, they're charging her with that too. So all for faking a kidnapping, which I believe kidnapping is a federal offense, she's being charged with 2 misdemeanors that aren't federal misdemeanors. They're state misdemeanors. Supposedly the Attorney General is taking this case. So even if she's found guilty of these 2 misdemeanors, she might only spend a year or 2 in jail. And I think $1,000 a piece or something like that. Honestly, that's outrageous, because when you fake a kidnapping and get all these people, it went national. All these people are out looking for you, praying for you, doing all these things. Local, state, federal authorities are using resources to search for you. And come to find out, you faked the whole thing. So kind of like Jesse Smollett, Mr. Smollett. I don't like calling people by their first name because I don't know him. But y'all know what I'm talking about. He faked his whole incident too, trying to claim racial civil rights issue, and all of it was fake. So in this case, it was all fake. Some people were making it a racial issue, which is ridiculous. And the problem is that there's really, from what I gather, there's really no outrage that she faked her kidnapping. And from what I'm gathering, people aren't outraged because she's black. Now, if she was white, they'd be totally outraged, because they weren't outraged when Jesse Smollett, Mr. Smollett, faked his incident after it was proven that he faked it. They were behind him because they thought it was a racial issue, when it wasn't. This wasn't a racial issue. Never was a racial issue. This was a young lady that was kidnapped. Who cares what color she is? We need to go find her. It's just that simple. So that upset me, because people were making it into a racial issue, which it is not. Kidnapping is kidnapping regardless. And they're more worried about that than they are worried about her lying. And that upsets me, because in the way I look at it, what's more egregious? That she was black being kidnapped, and that the perpetrator that was white, even though now it was all fake, so the perpetrator wasn't white at all, because there was no perpetrator. Or that she lied. But in this world, liars are treated better than people with skin colors that aren't quote unquote popular. This is what boggles me, is that people are more worried about that she was black than that she was a liar. This is what upsets me about this. Same with the Jesse Smollett incident, Mr. Smollett. Same with Miss Russell, Mr. Smollett are the same incidents. They got national news, claimed that it was white people that did it, and both of them were liars. But yet, we're not focusing on the fact that they lied. This is how screwed up the world is now. We got more important fish to fry. But she lied. And she deserves to go to jail. I don't care what anybody says. She deserves to go to jail. She deserves to go to jail. You wasted local, state, and federal
In
resources.
2 miles,
looking
take
for you.
exit 173 toward East Boga.
Looking for you. Don't mind my GPS. I apologize. Looking for you. And then it was all a lie. All a lie. She deserves to go to jail. That's obviously my opinion. She deserves to go to jail. There's no way she can get out of those 2 misdemeanors. So by all rights, she's definitely going to do some jail time. She deserves every minute of it because you faked a kidnapping. I'm surprised her parents didn't beat the mess out of her. But her parents might even be complicit. That's a whole nother issue that'll come with the investigation when we find out why she did it and all that stuff. You know, that's a whole nother issue that, you know. But anyways, I just wanted to talk about that. We can go into more detail, but she's a liar. She deserves her jail time. She deserves what she did for putting...
Use the right lane to take exit 173 toward East Boga.
For putting people through stress and all this other stuff because they may have loved ones missing. All these folk that went out to go search for her. All that stuff you did for whatever reason. And we'll find out what that reason is soon enough. And...
Take the exit, then turn left.
And so we'll find out soon enough. We'll find out.
At the stop sign.
And
turn onto East Boga.
I don't understand the mentality. Now they're trying to say she has mental issues. Yeah, she certainly does have mental issues. But she still deserves to go to jail. You know, people keep trying to fall back on, oh, well, they have mental issues. Yeah, she certainly does. She definitely has mental issues. And they're not the type that's going to get you out of nothing. She definitely got mental issues. That you would try to orchestrate a kidnapping using various TV shows like this Kevin Hart skit, you know, the movie Taken, all this other stuff, you know, to try to fake something, to do something that you probably didn't want your parents to know you were doing, or you didn't want, if the rumors are true, your boyfriend to know what you were doing, or whatever it is that you were doing. And you turn out to be a liar. But nobody wants to focus on that. Nobody wants to do real journalism and say, you know what, this is outrageous, she's a liar, and she needs to be prosecuted for it. The Hoover police are upset that she's only getting 2 misdemeanors because something like that is serious. And again, there are many incidents of people faking things. I'm just using the one that was done in the area that I live in, and then using Mr. Smollett also because his was a high-profile one too.
At the next stop sign,
both of them had racial overtones that people were trying to apply to him, which made absolutely no sense. And both of them turned out to be liars. Both of them turned out to be nothing. And people aren't holding them accountable for lying. The only people that are holding Miss Russell accountable for lying is the Hoover Police Department and the state of Alabama. Maybe the FBI, the Marshal Service, whoever was out there. Usually it's the FBI. They may or may not, but the way our government is now, they probably won't.
Take a slight left turn
So, yeah, it really upset me, this whole case. And after that press briefing from the Hoover Police, where they told us about her internet searches and all that, I knew it was I knew it was fake. Me and my coworkers knew it was fake. Knew it was fake. And all my coworkers, or almost all my coworkers, are black, and all of them said it was fake. All of them. All of them said it was fake. And guess what? It turned out to be fake. So I just believe that that the justice system, we obviously know it's messed up. That the state of Alabama needs to crack down, needs to up the punishment on people who do stuff like this, as well as other states. The federal government needs to too. Since kidnapping is a federal offense, it should be a federal offense to fake one. And it shouldn't be the attorney general that's prosecuting. It should be a federal judge. Birmingham has a federal courthouse.
Take a slight left turn.
And I honestly hope that she gets the maximum punishment for what she did.
Turn left onto Victory Road.
Not because of who she is, not because of what she is, not because of the color of her skin, it's because she lied about something that's very serious. Sex trafficking is a humongous issue. Human trafficking is a humongous issue. And you fake a kidnapping to do whatever it is that you did, and we'll find out what that is shortly. We'll see how stupid, what stupid thing she did to fake a kidnapping. I'm sure it's something stupid. It has to be something stupid. And she deserves the maximum punishment of the law. However weak it might be, she deserves to be punished to the maximum extent. And if her parents are complicit, they deserve punishment too. If her parents are complicit, which I have a strange feeling they are, they deserve to be punished too. Just like accessories are punished, even though they didn't necessarily do the exact crime. If they were an accessory, they get punished too. And I have a strange feeling the parents are an accessory in this. So let's wake up and stop acting stupid, and let's just start making people accountable and stop making excuses. Stop using race and mental health issues to excuse stupid behavior. Let's stop doing that. And let's punish people and make people accountable for what they do. Well, I'm done. Getting ready to go here into work. I appreciate the time. I definitely appreciate everybody that likes and subscribes and watches my videos. Please like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell. It really helps me out. Again, I apologize for not being as consistent. My new job is taking a lot of time away from me. So, but I just appreciate each and every one that views this and likes this and leaves a comment. And I'll see you on the next time. God bless you.